Hey, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Casey's Model Mayhem. How's everyone doing this evening?
Good evening, everyone.
Well,
This
yeah,
is Ken here as well. Tonight, I see we have Dawn being first, saying it's good to be king.
yeah,
And then we have Keith's wife here. So, of course,
yep.
she's going to be
Helen's
here.
here.
And we have Jody,
Hey,
Trent,
Jody.
and looks like a few other people that aren't talking yet.
Yeah, and Trent's here as well. Hey, Trent, welcome. Thanks for coming in. So, well, last week was the first time for me streaming and started off working on the cells and stuff, reviewing some stuff. On the Friday night stream and the Sunday stream, I continued work on the nacelles. Uh, to help with the light transmission, I primed and spray painted white the insides of both sides of the nacelle to help uh, spread some more light out since they're going to be green lights. Uh, so just the black, I think, would dull it down too much,
I think you're right.
absorb too much of the light. And I did end up putting the clear pieces in, which will transmit white light out. There's a little light at the bottom that'll shine out, and then also a light at the rear of each nacelle, which will shine white. I think the front one blinks, if I remember correct, and the back one is steady. One thing I'm going to have to work out is light blocking, because I have seen where there's a clear piece that goes right here in between the two pieces. Do I have the right one? Nope, it's this guy. There's a clear piece that goes in the front here. And if I definitely don't light block this, you'll get some flashing, which will show. So I got to work that out.
Can
And
I give
then,
you a piece of advice?
sure,
For those clear parts you just put in, are they permanently affixed in right now or no?
they are done with white glue, so they are not permanently affixed.
Okay. Something you can look at right now if you have masking fluid would be to mask them off now so that it's easier. It doesn't start trying to interfere with them between getting it strictly only on the clear part and then not getting it on the model itself or when you go to paint.
I was thinking about that, and I wasn't quite sure. I was mulling decisions, and I think your suggestion is going to lean me towards that way of
Yeah, I
getting it
mean
done before.
you can do it later, and that's not an issue, but it's just a little tedious at times trying to clean it up as you're only trying to get it on the clear part and not getting it on the
Right.
part you want to get painted. It's an option. You can do either or.
I probably will attempt doing it prior to putting the pieces together, because it'll
Okay.
definitely be easier to pick it off once it's
Yes.
out there.
Yeah.
Uh, During the dry fitting and stuff, I ended up putting a piece of double-sided tape here because there is a little ledge drop off, and the LED strip does come over to here.
Okay.
So, because it goes from about here all the way up to here, and it was a slight dip. So the last one or two, because it's a double density LED strip, there was just a little dip, and these were down a further. And this double-sided tape brings it up almost perfectly parallel.
Nice. Stephen Haynes is
So,
here tonight.
hey,
Welcome,
Stephen,
Stephen.
welcome. Thanks for joining. Glad you could make it. So that's, if people were wondering what that is, it's just double-sided tape waiting for me to start actually putting in the LED strip. But I had to test it out to make sure it was going to work
And
the way I
everybody
thought it was.
oh, sorry. I was going to say, and
Oh,
everybody get your thinking hats on tonight because there is some
yep.
trivia, some Klingon trivia.
And also over the weekend, this was Sunday. Because this is open, I need to get all this paint work done because there are clear photo etch pieces and some clear pieces that go back there that you don't want to get paint on.
No,
And
that's for sure.
So the masking set I have from MaskDesign, he does have a big mask that will cover this. So I can continue working on the other stuff and not have to worry about getting paint into any of the grill openings. So that's what I got done over since the live stream ended last week. Today, my plan is I've got some touch up to do on this. Some of the masks weren't perfect, so there's some colors I just need to go along the edges and touch up a little bit. I plan on doing that. I did perform the burn-in on my green LED strips, so I may end up placing these down on the one side of the nacelles and routing the wires. And then I will probably glue in temporarily the photo etch grills and the clear pieces part of the grill and test the lights, but I doubt I'll get to that tonight because I am now burning in the white LEDs that go in the nacelles as well. So my power supply unit is completely tied up.
Okay.
On the table behind me.
Did you try what Todd had suggested with the clear, or I guess the foggy tape?
No, I have not tried that yet. That's a plan of I'm going to attempt, if it comes up, I may do it Friday, depending. Like I said, I can't, my power supply unit's in limbo for the next 24 hours, being it's tied up with the white LEDs. So it won't be happening till Friday at the earliest.
Right.
But I will remember what Todd said.
Right. But just to test, you could also just put the tape over the back there and just hold it over like a little flashlight or something just to see what the effect is.
True. I could do that as well.
Or the flashlight on your phone or something.
Yeah. And I had started working on some other pieces, but I'll get into that once I get this stuff done with painting. I was going to start putting pieces on the back. On the, well, it would be the exterior side of the nacelles, because the grill openings point towards the inside of the ship.
Don says, I'm done. Know nothing about Klingons. And then Trent says, are the Klingons orbiting Uranus, Don? To which he says, maybe I will never tell.
Well, I don't know much about Klingons either, so.
If you've watched, these aren't really tough questions. Some of them are, you need to watch some episodes and stuff like that, certain episodes, but some of them are pretty generalized too, so. And also, there is going to be trivia tonight for Bucks, and that's going to be just more general trivia. I just wasn't prepared to do trivia tonight here on Keith's stream here, so I just kind of quickly grabbed some Klingon questions, and we're going to run with that.
Yep. Well, as I said, today, based off of work, today was questionable. Hang on one second.
Certainly. Oh, and Buck just showed up.
Well, apparently my granddaughter is watching with her dad. Hi, Moira. Peepaw loves you.
Oh, that's cool. So let's keep this stream E for everyone.
Yeah, she's only, she'll be 4.
Although she probably can't read. At least
no, but
not
she
what
can
we're saying.
hear really well.
Yeah. Buck said, "Hey, be careful whose name you say. I might show up." Welcome, Buck.
Welcome, Buck. Good to see you. But as I was saying, the way work was today, I wasn't sure I was going to be home in time because we ran into some issues trying to solve, and my coworker and I could not figure it out. Then he realized something and knew what the problem was, so we got it fixed, but we still had to wait to get stuff.
There must be under the name Ty Boomer.
Yes.
She giggled and said hi and okay.
Yep, that's our son Jay.
Welcome to the stream, Jay. And just as a programming note update, it looks like Buck is saying, "Hey everyone, finishing up work on the Constitution before I start on the jail wagon this evening."
Nice.
So we'll see if he gets that caught up before he starts the jail wagon.
So you're going to be able to take Buck to jail on that thing when it's done?
Might be a little small. Might be a little cramped.
Well, he's used to working on airplanes, so he should be able to
squeeze in there.
Yep.
Now, I have to say, some of that masking you were working on was super fine. Like really small masking parts.
Yeah, the bottom chevron that's dark gray there.
Yeah.
Is the smallest mask that they have ever produced.
Wow. That's incredible.
And he calls it out in the video because MaskDesigns, they do videos of how to work, do the masking and stuff for every mask set. But he did call out that is the smallest one that they've ever made. It was barely visible on the tweezers.
Well, I remember you showing us on stream. Yeah, they were barely visible. Okay, so I'm going to start with the first piece of Klingon trivia. A lot of these are going to be easy because they are multiple choice. So that should hopefully help you guys. So the first one, the Klingons are from the planet. Is it A, Hoth, B, Kling, C, Kronos, or D, Praxis? If anybody needs me to repeat the question, just go ahead and ask. So we have Jody saying Kronos, and Trent says C, which again is Kronos. Steven says C. Dawn says C. Jody says you guys are toast. Yes, Jody is our Klingon fan. Got his own Klingon costume.
Yes, he does. And he looks the part, too.
He does.
That costume is amazing.
It is, for sure. Don says he's following the crowd. Yeah, so the answer is yes. It is Kronos. It's usually referred to as the home world. Praxis was the energy-producing moon of Kronos that exploded at the beginning of Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country. Kling comes from the Next Generation episode Heart of Glory, where one of the renegade Klingons says, "Those traitors of Kling." Kling was supposed to be given the name of the Klingon homeworld. However, the writers realized it sounded pretty silly. So yeah, and if you chose Hoth, you're definitely in the wrong universe, as that is from Empire Strikes Back.
I had to I had to make a spreadsheet of colors because I'm using the Squadron scale colors. They're Starship series.
Yep.
But Gary on his uses craft paints.
He does, and that's what I'm going to be using for the Reliant.
So I, based on what he calls out for, I'm having a spreadsheet what he calls out for in his directions and equating it to the Squadron scale colors.
Nice. Right on.
That way.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, that way is when I get further along, I can just refer to the spreadsheet. Oh yeah, this color equals that.
Yes, nice. I ordered some empty Tamiya bottles from Hobby Shop, and then so that way I can kind of mix up the colors and then keep them more long term. Okay, question 2. This historical figure is given a godlike reference in Klingon culture. Is it Kor, Kalis, Gowron, or Gorkon? I'll read that off again, your choices, but I'll give it letters so you guys don't have to try and figure out how to write them. So, historical figure was given a godlike reverence in Klingon culture. Was it A, Kor, B, Kalis, C, Gowron, D, Gorkon? Don says he's waiting for Jody.
No cheating off of each other.
Yeah. If you guys want a hint, just let me know. I will eliminate one of them. Steven says B. Jody says Kalis. So Kalis was B. Yep. And Don says, hey, I Kalis. Trent says B. That is some mighty fine brushwork you're doing. Just those little tiny bits.
Yep.
All right. So the answer is B, Kalis. All of these guys are important in Klingon culture, but Kalis is the most important. And then there was a clone of his great warrior was created by Klingon monks later, and then and placed on the throne of the emperor. Just as a side note, like Gorkon was Chancellor Gorkon. So Gowron was in, I believe, the Next Generation. So yeah. Now, don't forget, people, if you missed the past couple HTM streams we have coming this Friday, we have the 300th episode of the HTM live streams. So there'll be a few things going on there. And then also tomorrow we have the Woody stream for Woody Wednesday. And then we'll have Jordan on Thursday with his, we're not too sure what he's doing. If he's doing, if he's going to be starting with his Lego on the Slave One that he got from Todd, or if he's going to be doing anything with the the kit, the Knight Rider car. So we'll have to see what he does.
Yes, it's always a surprise what Jordan is going to work on.
Yes.
But
So
if you are curious, in the description on my feed live stream here, there is a schedule listed. Also, if you are part of our Discord, Andrew did pin the schedule for this week in
nice.
the Doing It Live channel.
Well, that's right, he did. Yeah. So if you're a member of the HTM family and part of the Discord, you can certainly go there and take a look. Jody says his drawing of the Kronos 2 is a Kalis class ship. Right on. So
Nice.
question 3. What is the title given to the political leader of the Klingon Empire? Is it A, Chancellor, B, Thought Admiral, C, Emperor, or D, Supreme Klingon?
That's one question I do know the answer to. But I will not say anything.
Now, this one's a little contentious there. Okay, so Trent says C. So, which is Emperor. Jody says Chancellor, which was A. Don says Chancellor. And Trent just goes, huh? There we go. Steven says A. Yeah. How are you finding the parts fit on this kit so far?
For the minimal number of parts I've done, pretty good. I do know there will be some seam work on the tops of the nacelles here, and probably on the bottom as well.
Oh, right on.
If
So usually there's usually seam work to do, but
yeah,
it's usually not that hard to clean up.
No, but what is nice is the way Gary designed this is you get this done. There is no seam work here. But then there, so you can get this painted and don't have to worry about the rest of it.
Yeah.
And this is all protected. Then you can do all your seam work. And the one thing I'm doing a little different, because he did call for this being painted up front already, because it would be the dark gray. This kind of U-shaped piece here on both sides. But there's a little bit of seam work that has to go on up front. So I want to make sure I get that before I even attempt painting that.
Okay. Jody says, should I get my Klingon dictionary? And Trent says, sorry, searching for lost photo-etch. Is it under your keyboard?
Hey, hopefully it's on your desktop, Trent, not in the carpet like where mine usually ends up.
Yes. So to get back to our answer, yes, it is. The answer is Chancellor. Before the clone of Kalis was created, there hadn't been a true emperor in the Klingon Empire for centuries. And the other one, Thought Admiral, was from several books which are non-canon.
Another thing I want to call out, these little pieces, I guess plates of some kind, they actually get mounted in these slots on the exterior.
Okay.
Pay very close attention to the directions. I did not on how they go, because this piece needs to fit over, and there is how's that go now? I gotta look. Yeah, these little exterior round pieces are supposed to fit in these slots.
Okay.
I put them on wrong to start, so I had to take them off because I had them overlapping where those slots were filled.
Okay. Yeah, that'd make a huge difference.
Yes, it does. So they are essentially supposed to look like that.
Are you paying attention,
Almost.
Jody? This will affect you.
So I did have to peel them off. One thing I did notice, and I will make mention of this, these are going to be a different color, so, but I didn't want to do a whole lot of touch up either. So what I'm going to end up doing is getting a tongue depressor with the blue tack,
Yes, that's what I use a lot.
and stick them on. And each one's numbered a little different. So there's 220s and 219s for each side. 220s go on one side on port side, but they're on the, like if they're on top on the port side, they're on the bottom on the starboard side.
Okay.
So you have to pay attention to that as well. But one thing to do, be very careful. I did break one of these when I was cutting them off. Because there is an attachment piece on this end as well on the sprue. I recommend cutting them off the end that has the notch in it first, because I did break off one of these notch legs and had to
Okay.
glue it back on. I was trying to be careful, but I still messed it up. So just anyone that's doing this, just a hint of caution there. Be careful when cutting these plates out.
Well, there we go. That will affect me too in the future, because I too will be building this model at some point in the future.
So hopefully I can make the mistakes and you people can learn from them.
What do you mean, you people?
Learn
Buck
to not
says,
make the mistakes that I do.
yes. Buck says, what did I miss? I had to go do some on the Constitution, and I'm going to compile the videos into one and may post it tonight. Oh, well, something to watch a little bit later.
Something for me to watch at work.
And Don says, is your audio working on this one, Buck?
The audio works, the camera blew out.
And Buck says, searching for my lost piece of photo etch. Sounds like a Jimmy Buffett song. Yeah, there we go, Jody. Let's build it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Another
thing. Yeah. Go ahead, Ken. Another thing is on these pieces here, this little piece here,
yes,
is very fragile. I was trying to be delicate and actually broke one of them.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So that's not the one that was broke. I think I got it glued on pretty darn good again. We'll see once I get the primer on there, because that'll definitely show up more under primer. Right now it looks fine, but there was a piece at the top here that kind of flashing that I had to remove, and I thought I was being delicate, but I wasn't delicate enough, and I actually snapped it off of both of the supports.
Oh, geez. Okay. Again,
So,
everybody, make sure you're taking notes if you're going to be building this kit. And Don says,
yes.
mistakes we all make. Artistic license.
Yep. So, while we're going on, I will get these pieces put on my popsicle sticks, because most of this is going to be painted to light gray. But these little plates are actually a different color.
Oh, right on.
So I'll paint those separately. And the piece that fits over top, not sure what it's called, also is going to be the light gray.
I'm going to ask another question here. She was the only woman to be named Chancellor of the Klingon Empire. Was it, some of these Klingon names. Was it A, Azabert, B, Be'etor, C, Lursa, or D, Belana? Jeez. I should have skipped that question.
Jody, help.
Yeah. Now, I do believe that question comes back from Star Trek 6 as well. That was definitely a heavy Klingon-centric episode for the movies. Buck says, don't say popsicle, it'll attract Ian. Yeah, I got a whole bunch of the larger craft popsicle sticks from Michael's years ago. It's like a big pack of 100. They're terrific.
Yeah, I got I forget how many. Probably like 1,000 box of tongue depressors off of Amazon.
Yeah, they're dirt cheap and they're great for painting.
Yep, I love them.
Let's see here. Jody says it was A at the end of Undiscovered Country. Dawn says A. Steven says A. And to which Jody also says that's Gorkon's daughter. Yes. So yeah, that was it was A as it were. Women are not allowed to sit on the council because of her knowledge of Gorkin, her father's peace initiative. Though she was named chancellor after his death. Well, Lursa and Be'etor held considerable power. They did not have a seat on the council. And the person who did this, quiz here, he really liked their outfits because of certain assets that it highlighted. If you remember the sisters.
So she became the leader due to Star Trek 6 Undiscovered Country, right? Where he was
at
killed.
the end there, because she knew the like the peace initiative that her father was trying to set up with the Federation. And
yeah, that's me not being a big Star Trek fan, but with building this, I was like, okay, I need to watch the movie, see if I can get some ideas on painting interior wise. Since I've got the shuttle bay, the main bridge, and all that fun stuff. And of course, you don't see that much of that ship.
Don says it's nice to have a ringer when it comes to trivia like this. Buck says he always likes certain aspects of females. Trivia note here from Jody. He says the actor who played Gorkon also played the Cardassian who tortured Picard. There are 4 lights. And Steven says, yeah, big chess sets. Yeah. Yeah. All right. I'll head on to the next question. This one is not multiple choice, but it requires 3 words. This type of ship featured 2 distinct classes, Cavort and Burrell. So think of a Klingon ship that has 3 words in its name. So it should be pretty easy because, Buck says he knows that one.
I think I know it.
Buck's like, avocado. Cheeseburger. Jody says he'll wait. I'm going to see if anybody else can get that 3-word name. Yes, it's these 2 distinct classes of ship look exactly pretty much exactly the same. They're just technically different in size. It's the Cavort and the Burrell. So the name of ship would usually hear being referred to as a Klingon something, something, something. Yeah, Buck says it was the longest lasting ship from the original movies through the TNG movie. Don says, I know nothing. Well, somebody's got to throw out an answer. Do you want to throw out the answer, Keith?
Bird of prey.
That is correct. And also, Trent got it. Don threw it in there. Yep. Bird of prey. Buck said Klingon chicken salad sandwich. Yeah, it was a bird of prey. So technically, I believe in Star Trek 3, it was like a crew of like 12, 14, something like that. And then later in like Next Generation and stuff like that, they had it like a crew of like 100 and something or 200 or something like that. It was a larger class ship, but basically the same model. Yeah, and Jody said the most reused explosion in Star Trek.
Well, wasn't it a bird of prey that they used in Undiscovered Country?
Yep,
that
one
was
that
actually
was
attacking Kronos.
Yep, one that could fire well cloaked. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
But yet I'm not a true Trekkie.
Yeah, but is very popular Klingon ship that people saw. You see a lot of it. Yeah, it was one of their most used ships. Yeah. Buck said Doc Brown asked if the female had seen the data. That's right. It was Christopher. What's his name? Played Doc Brown in Back to the Future. Christopher Lloyd. Was that it? Anyway, he played the Klingon in that Star Trek 3, and the female had transferred the data for the Genesis weapon, as they thought it, referred to it. And once she admitted to it, so that's why he had her ship destroyed that she was on, because he didn't want that information getting out. Let's see here. Yeah, she said yes, and he said that's unfortunate. Yep. Yes, and Buck said, yeah, like they said, yeah, the bird of prey was used in Voyage Home, because that's the ship they stole, which they also renamed the Bounty. Alec is here from work.
Shocker. Hey, Alec, welcome. Thanks for joining.
Scotty was on the ship there, said repairs are easy. Reading Klingon is hard. Lloyd, Christopher Lloyd, thank you. Yes, Christopher Lloyd. Just asking how my Klingon bird of prey is. It is still sitting untouched for a very long time, because right now I'm mostly just want to learn as much as I can doing the buddy build here with Jordan, with all the lighting going on there, and I'm hoping to take a lot of that knowledge over to wiring and whatnot for that one.
Oh, so you were smart. See, I wasn't. I jumped into this big thing. Go full blown.
Yeah.
But I like a challenge, so.
Oh, actually, here it says, okay. So in this trivia, it says, the bird of prey is a very versatile ship capable of planetary, interstellar, and warp travel. The Cavort class was the larger of the two class. Oh, it wasn't as much crew as I thought. With a crew of about 36. The Burrell class was the smaller of the two. It had a crew of 12. The Klingons have been using for the design for over a century. So there we go.
You know, with the recent events so far this past week, I'm wondering who the third celebrity is going to be. Because we lost Malcolm Theodore Huxtable.
Yes, we did.
And then Ozzy today.
Yeah. Ooh.
So who, because they always say they come in threes.
Yeah. I keep thinking every once in a while, back of my mind, I don't think he's going to die anytime soon, but is that one day I'm going to hear the death of Arnold Schwarzenegger, who for me was, growing up was like the action star for me.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, big time. Or Michael J. Fox.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because, I mean, he's lived a long time with his Parkinson's, and a lot longer than expected, I think.
Yeah.
And actually, I think that's part of what Ozzy had, too, was Parkinson's.
Yes. They said that on the news today, too. Alex asking if the Genesis weapon had a paywall. And she didn't pay. Jody said, did anyone besides Howard check out that paper engineer guy I shared today? He was making a bird of prey with paper and cardboard and lights. I did not, Jody.
I have not had a chance to see that. I'm going to check it out. It sounds interesting.
Yeah, I saw that it was posted. You posted it, but I didn't have a chance to watch it yet today.
Yeah. By that time, I was busy trying to get stuff done so I could get home. And then spent some time with the wife and ate dinner and spent some time with her and the puppy and
all the important stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Next question. This Klingon conspired with the Romulans, which led to the massacre at Kittimore. Was it A, Duras?
Your ass.
Yeah, exactly. Duras. B, Gerard. C, Moog. Or D, Jadan. Jody says Duras. Steven says A. Trent says A. Which is all going for Duras. So my question to Jody is, are you satisfied with this trivia tonight?
He's probably like, yes, I can win at this.
Buck says Moog was Worf's father, and he took the blame. Jody says, who killed Duras? Well, look at this. It's Andrew. Andrew's here. He says, good evening, gents. How's it going? I'll be in and out, but I'll let the stream play. Well, we're doing some Klingon trivia tonight, so feel free to jump in there anytime you want.
Yes. Welcome, Andrew. Thanks for joining in, and glad to see you here. I'm just busy prepping parts for paint this weekend and hopefully get some other stuff assembled.
Okay, so the answer for this one, I said Duras as well when I originally did this trivia, and I was wrong. The correct answer is Gerard, who was the father of Duras. But yes, Moog, the father of Worf, was originally saddled with the crime.
Yes. I know Ken and I saw that, Andrew. Thank you very much for doing that.
Yes, thank you very much.
And Jody says, uh-oh, I have a competitor.
Well, you're continuing the sound. I'll ask the next question. One second here. Hit self in forehead. Stupid. You got that one wrong. That's okay. Okay. So, next question is, besides Worf, this was the only known survivor of the massacre at Kittimer. Was it A, Caleste, B, Moog, C, Mapek, I think, K, Mapek, which is K, and then MPEK, and Krug. So Caleste, Moog, Mapek, and Krug. So again, besides Worf, this was the only known survivor of the massacre of Kittimer. Caleste, it was A. B is Moog. C is Kempek. And D is Krug. I also got this one wrong. Let's see. Jody says Father Kempek. Okay, just let you know, I got this wrong, and I said Kempek as well. So you may want to change your answers, people. Oh, Steven says C, which is what I had guessed. And Buck says, I don't know, so I just shout Malz Choi Chu, which I think is Beam Me Up from Star Trek 3. And Trent says D. This is Krug. Just going in there and putting another coat of paint on there.
No, I found looking over it, I found some spots that were missed.
Ah.
So just double checking my work.
Jody says Krug was Lloyd's character. So the answer was A. Celeste. Celeste was Worf's nanny and knew that his father would never betray the Empire. Worf did discover a prison camp full of Khitomer survivors in the 2-part Birthright episodes from Next Generation. But then Worf left with some of the camp's younger Klingons. They swear on their honor to keep the camp's existence a secret. So officially, only Worf and Kahlest survived Khitomer. Yeah, I definitely have to say these round 2 kits for Star Trek, the new ones they're doing, so much improved from the old AMT kits and whatnot. So not necessarily the best kits out there, but they are very decent. Although a lot of people will tell you that the refit is not that good, but I'm sure it could have been a lot worse.
Especially Ian.
Yes, especially Ian. You just got to remember, you just got to use your modeling skills and just as you can. I mean, you look at Boyd there; he did so many of that ship, and without having to buy extra kits for replacement parts. Jody says, I guess I need to watch Next Generation again. It's been 30 years since I have. Okay, this one's going back to Star Trek TOS, the original series, this question. This Klingon agent, it also could be from the episode of Deep Space Nine. This Klingon agent was working undercover on the Federation K7. Now, this was the episode The Trouble with Tribbles. So was the undercover agent's name Jadan, Darvin, Mara, or Kavada? So it's A, Jadan, B, Darvin, C, Mara, or D, Kavada. I did get this one right. And you can ask Keith how quickly I went through this quiz.
Very quick. Like 10 minutes.
Yeah, not even. Actually, I only answered, I think, the first dozen questions out of 20. And then I just said, yeah, it looks like all these, I'll just hit the submit answers and we'll see what it came up with answers. Buck says Tribbles. Jody says Darvin. Buck says Darvin, and he screwed up the Quadratriticale. Yes, the grain that was either from Russia or from Canada. Depends who you listen to. I like to think it was Spock was correct in that it was from Canada. Stephen thinks it was Darvin. And you got to think TOS, what they used for names back then wasn't as cool. And Buck said that the grain was from Venus. where was the green originally produced or invented? They said, Spock said Canada. And he's a man you don't want to argue when it comes to trivia. So the answer is B, Darwin. Yes, Darwin was a human name used by this Klingon. His Klingon name was never given. But it was the Trouble of Tribbles and the DS9 episode Trials and Tribulations. He was stuck in human form for over a century after being exposed by Kirk. And Donnie's here. Hello, Donnie. He says, "What's up, guys?"
Hey, Donnie. Good to see you. Thanks for joining.
Well, it's good to see that the ejection pin marks they have are on the side that you're not going to see.
Yes, that is one thing I do like.
Because some of those old EMT kits and stuff, that wasn't necessarily the case.
Well, I run into that with Trumpeter when I'm on stuff.
No, there you go. The A10 is a Trumpeter kit that I'm working on, and it's actually been really good so far.
Well, that might be a newer one.
Yeah, well,
the Iowa.
It's from, I want to say 2005-ish, somewhere in there.
Okay, well, I think the Iowa's older than that.
Yeah, more than likely.
And there's some things I'm like, why would you put an injection pin mark there or, a sprue connection?
Yeah. So we have Buck giving a little trivia, and says Scotty beamed the tribbles over to the Klingon ship. Will there be no tribble at all?
Donnie's already at number 3.
Okay, the next question is, the legendary Klingon warrior Kor was given this title late in his life. So, was it A, Bat'leth Master? That's A, Bat'leth Master. B, Thought Admiral. C, Grand Klingon. Or D, Dahar Master. So Donnie's all excited. He's number 3 in the chat.
One thing I will say, they were hardly noticeable, but on the rods here, there were slight flashing seam lines.
Okay, did you just have to give him just a little scrape with the old...
slide. Got to be careful. They're delicate as well, but just lightly drew the nice sharp blade over it, and they came right off.
Nice, yeah. That's good. Donnie in with a quick answer of Dahar Master, and then followed by Jody, or he says Dahar Master, and Steven says Dahar Master. Don, do you want to follow suit? Is Don going to follow suit and say Dahar Master? Yeah, making small parts like that without at least a little bit of a seam line in there is pretty hard for model companies to do.
Yep.
Buck's jumping in there with Dahar Master. Go ahead, Keith.
But like I said, it was small enough that just a light scrape with the Nice sharp blade took it right off.
Yeah. And Buck says, but Stephen King is the horror master. Yeah, I also have a couple seam scraping tools. I don't know that I'd use them on necessarily on something that thin. So that's when your number 11 blade or scalpel or whatever is going to be probably your best bet.
Yeah, I have a seam scraper because some of the ship hauls I've worked on needed that, and a seam scraper is better than a knife at that point.
Yeah, exactly. So yes, the answer is the Horror Master. Batleth Master and Grand Klingon are joke titles. Thought Admiral, as we said earlier, was from the books that were non-canon. So that is it. So Donnie got that one pretty quick. So Jody, you may have some competition here on this trivia. Buck says Dahar. Or sorry, no, Jody said Dahar, mateys. Okay. Number 10. This notorious Klingon criminal killed the firstborn children of Kor, Kolith, and Kang. This one is not multiple choice, but there is a hint. It is pale, so very pale, one word. And I did not get this one. But it's not a Klingon, what you'd consider a Klingon name. It's just the name he was referred to. And so, yeah, just think of someone who's pale. Yep, there we go. Donnie got it right off the bat. I'll just, because it's such a hard one. It's the albino. Yeah. Jody said my mom had a thigh master. You're doing good. You're looking at just an hour and almost 5 minutes in.
Dang, it's been that long already?
Yeah.
Time's flying when you're having fun, I guess.
Jody said he didn't know that one. Donnie said it was with a virus that he did it. That is correct.
And it's always fun, and time flies when you're hanging with friends, too.
That is always a big help.
All right. Got a bunch of parts ready for paint on Friday.
So the next question, question number 11. Which legendary Klingon warrior named his son after Dax? This is getting into some DS9 stuff. So our choices are Kolaf. A is Kolaf. B is Kang. C is Kor. And D is my favorite, Kimpek. And the reason I say Kimpek is my favorite is just because I just have a hard time saying that one. So A, Koleth, B, Kang, but not Kronos and Kang. C is Kor, and D, Kimpek. Donnie says Kang. Jody says Kolaf. Donnie's saying because she helped him kill the albino. Interesting. And it's like they're having a Star Trek Klingon off here, and I'm going to see everybody else is kind of standing back now in a circle watching. I'm going to get that music going.
And who's the one who's standing in the corner taking the bets?
Don says, no, wait, I think the albino was later. Anybody else want to throw a guess in there? So far we have Kang and Kolath. No one going for Kimpek, my favorite one to try and say. And no one for Core. And Donnie said, but she did help him kill the albino. Steven says Kang. Don must be going to the bathroom. He's taking a long time. So
washing his hands.
Yeah. The correct answer is Kang. And it says, actually, it was Curzon who got the honor as the godfather of Kang's son, as Dax's newest host, Jadzia, upheld the blood oath concerning Dax Jr. Yeah, I like the detail they have on the surface of that that hull.
Wait a minute. Had to get it around right. So I got to figure out, make sure I know which hole that the wires can come up through.
Yeah.
Because the back one ain't going to go up into the body.
Right.
The front one. Just so I'll remember, I'll put a pencil mark on the one that.
There you go. That'll help you remember and keep track of that.
And it's going to be hidden anyway, so won't really matter.
Question 12. This woman's strict Klingon beliefs ruined her marriage and ostracized her from her daughter, Belana. Was it A, Muriel, B, Betor, C, Ursula, or D, Maura? So A, Muriel, B, Betor, C, Lursa, and D, Maura. This woman's strict Klingon beliefs ruined her marriage and ostracized her from her daughter, Belana. Jody says Mara. Buck says D, which is Mara. Donnie is quickly Googling. I don't know if he is or
not. With Donnie and Star Trek, I doubt it.
Yeah, probably not. Steven says D, jumping in with the group. Yeah, this is now we're into questions I didn't even bother answering. I just kind of said, okay, we're running short on time. So I just said, give me all the answers. So the answer to this one is A, Muriel. Featured in Badge of the Dead, B'Elanna had visions of her mother, Muriel, dying dishonorably. It was never revealed if her mother really died. B'Elanna and Tom named their firstborn child after her. Donnie said, I can't remember. I'll go with D. And dang it. Yeah, so, well, we're even getting into the Voyager Klingon side of things here. So, Keith, what made you decide to build this particular Star Trek ship?
To be honest, I thought it looked cool.
Okay.
I had never built anything sci-fi,
Yeah.
Star Trek, anything like that, and it was like, see a lot of regular enterprises and being built, and it's like, I want to try something a little different. So I ended up choosing this, and that's got to go back.
Okay.
Just I like the color scheme as well.
It does have a nice color scheme.
So it was just something that, well, I kind of like that. Actually, let's do that.
Well, that's the thing, too. You want to build something you like. And Buck's all excited now. He's number 3 somehow, he says. Oh, no, sorry. He says, I'm someone now. Oh, there's me reading properly.
Oh, you're something, Buck.
Okay, question number 13. Worf's human adopted mother learned to make this Klingon dish for him. Was it A, heart of Targ, B, blood wine, C, gak, or D, rogek blood pie? I remembered this one. I would have got this one right. Steven's laughing at Buck about him being someone now. Buck says blood pie. Steven says C, which is gak. Donnie says blood pie. Alec is so overheated. Buck says, why would you eat the heart of your dog? That's true. That's your targ. And Trent says blood pie. Jody must be off making some coffee or something. And there's no answer from him. There you go.
Because I'm not gluing it in. I'm just trying to see how it's...
Yeah.
I think we'll be all right. And I think what I'm going to do, because this is just sticky back, I think I might come along and put some 5-minute epoxy on some of the edge.
Yeah, that's what I tend to, not necessarily 5-minute epoxy, but I'll usually put like CA glue or something like that. I've seen people use hot glue guns. Yeah. Although if you listen to Andrew, he does not use hot glue guns much in his models.
Yeah, but I was thinking even with the wires, I could just, granted, I'll have to hold them there till the 5-minute epoxy takes effect.
Mm-hmm.
But it's something I could use to help hold the wires down too.
Just remember, though, you don't necessarily, I don't believe you need to necessarily run those wires off the end of a LED strip. You could have just put them right in the middle.
Well, that's where they came.
Oh, okay. They're already pre-soldered?
These were already soldered on.
Oh, okay. There you go, then. Buck says he uses CA to hold wires in place. Yeah.
Yeah, so if it works out better, maybe I desolder them and move them over here to these contacts.
So the answer was Rogek blood pie. Apparently, her Rogek blood pie was one of Worf's favorite dishes.
Yep, we'll have to.
Alec is saying Howard's post in general is funny. We'll have to check that out later.
All right. Just doing some test fitting to see how things are going to work. Yeah, maybe I'll ask Todd Friday on that.
There you go.
As well, since I'm new to this, Donnie might know as well. But Todd would definitely know, I think. If I could take them off of there and just move them to the copper piece that's closest to where I need to bring it out from.
Yeah, and because they're not what do you call them? Oh, geez, I'm really bad at lighting tonight. They're not the all one length of LED.
Right.
There are gaps in between each light. You can run the wires that way, so without interfering with the light.
Oh, Jody must have pulled an Ian.
Yeah,
plumbing mishap.
Yeah, plumbing mishap. Yeah, Donnie says Donnie says you can connect your leads to any of those copper pads.
Okay, so that maybe that's what I'll do. I'll desolder what's here, and then bring them off
somewhere where you're more comfortable.
They're closer.
The wires. And plus, you don't have to go at that same angle that they're at right now. You could angle them straight up.
Right, yeah, because, well, the way they have them shown here, mount them that way, and I could just solder them right here, and I got to bring them out right there.
Yeah, exactly. So solder them so that they're facing up, not sideways.
Yep.
Jody had to tighten his faucets.
So, I learned something today. What did I forget now?
How to tie your shoes?
I won't know that till tomorrow morning. If I go to put my shoes on and sit there, how do I do this? Oh, no.
Buck said that if space is an issue for wiring, you can also use the strip as a wire power to power something else at the end of the strip. That's very true as well.
Yeah, there's only going to be 6 total wires coming out of each nacelle. So 2 for the blinking light up here.
Yep.
And then 2 for the steady white back here. Then the 2 for the LED strip. So
yeah, so just like Buck is saying there, if the green engine lights are always powered on, you could actually run the white lights that are always on. You can run its wires also to the strip light.
True.
So that the power that comes into the strip light will also then travel into the white lights.
Yeah. The issue is they're called out to go to different connectors
Okay, well, fair
on the
enough.
board.
Yep. Then don't change it
Yep.
then.
Yep. Nope.
Eric's
The only
here. He
thing I'm
says,
going to change
"Well,
is what Donnie said. Hey, Eric. Welcome. Thanks for joining. I did, Buck. What are you going to do about it?
okay." Question 14 is not multiple choice, but there is a hint. So, and it is based off of DS9. It is, what high-ranking Klingon did Odo mistakenly believe was a shapeshifter? The hint is bug-eyed.
Buck-eyed?
Bug-eyed.
Oh, I thought you said buck-eyed.
Nope, bug-eyed. Jody says 12 viewers and only 2 likes. Come on, people. Get with the likes. See here. Buck says Korg. Donnie says Martok. Jody says Garon. Donnie says, dang it, Jody.
That's...
What parts are you looking for now?
I think I need to see how they're painted. I think those... There's pieces that go on top. There's got like a cylinder and a gear
Okay.
piece on it. I'll have to see if they're painted the same as everything else, or because they're numbered different, so I have to be careful.
And remember, some of us are taking notes from you.
Yeah, I understood. That's why I'm taking my time here, scrolling through the painting masks right now. Let's see, how's he?
So, yes, the answer is Garon. If you remember that, he looked bug-eyed, the character.
There.
Yeah, Stephen had guessed Martok as well.
Of course, he doesn't show that on here.
No? You need someone who did like a parts work so you could follow along with.
Oh, yes, he does. It's just hard to see. You have to look at the right. So it looks easy. Those are just... But I gotta wait till I assemble the nacelles, because they fill this gap right here.
Oh, okay.
So it spans both sides.
So it is a detail piece.
Yeah.
That you're going to see.
Yep. So
interesting.
Looks like they are the light gray, based on what I saw. So I'll have to wait. I'll have to wait to assemble those, and once I get the nacelles all sanded up and the seam's good, then I can put those in there. But because they're numbered for specific sides, I don't want to do that yet. Because I will either mislabel them or put them on the wrong.
Donnie says, didn't he accuse Martok of being a changeling? That was an earlier question. Although, if you guys are paying attention to the chat, this next question should be pretty much really easy. So, question 15, the shapeshifter had actually taken the form of which prominent Klingon? And the hint is one eye.
Forget it. I'm doing it now. I can
You can
glue them
paint it
down
later.
to something.
There we go. Donnie says Martok. Buck says, wait. Nope. Dang it. So are you more of a prominent airbrusher or you a paint brush painter? Or do you kind of do a good mix?
Depends what needs done.
Okay.
I do like to airbrush, but I also like to hand paint.
Mm-hmm.
So it will be, most of this is going to be airbrushed.
Well, yeah, with the masking system.
Yeah. So, but as you saw, the small detail work I had to do, I can handle a paintbrush. So, not as good as Donnie, but I can handle one.
There you go.
Is that part misshapen?
Yes, so the correct answer was Martok. Nope. So when I saw Jody's answer there, I didn't want to read it off because I knew that was the next question. Well, Jody, I can certainly help you with that. And Jody says, when I'm ready to paint the 7D, I might the group's help. Yes, you might need the group's help or get the group's help.
Any of us would be glad to help.
Oh, for certain. Buck says, oh no, I'm just a nobody again. Stephen Haynes stole my number 3.
That's one thing about HTM. You will find someone that is willing to help.
Yes.
We all have our own strengths. So, and we usually know who we can point someone to for the help they're looking for.
Yep. Yeah, Donnie says, we will all help if we can, Jody.
Big old seam line on this piece.
Okay, question number 16. The mythical creature, Feklir, is the guardian of this place where the dishonored go when they die. Is it A, Stovokor, B, Greythor, C, Shakari, or D, Nimbus? I submitted my guess before I looked at the answer, and I was wrong. Okay, we have some guesses here. Donnie says Stovokor. Jody says Greythor. Buck says Greythor. Buck says, I think Stovo Core is Klingon heaven. And somebody let us know how those thumbs ups are looking. So, and remember, if you haven't hit the thumbs up button, feel free to give it a good old taparoo.
What other part? That was 218.
And Buck says, I think Shakari is a ceremony or a Latin singer. Donnie says, I hit the like button. Does that count? Sure.
Yes, it does.
So, yes, the correct answer was Gray Thor. Yeah, Sto-vo-kor, yeah, is their Valhalla. And Shakari comes from Star Trek V, The Final Frontier, as does Nimbus. Jody, what does God need with a starship?
Again, very nice placement for the sprue connections.
Right on those. Yeah. Actually, no, that's not bad. It's
there's
floating
teeth
over.
on the edge. It's on a flat part.
Nice. That is good then.
So it makes it really nice because the teeth are on the outside rim.
Yep.
Edge, and these are on the top flat, which makes it really nice.
Buck says, looks like the inside of a differential.
Yeah, but it's exposed.
Okay, question number 17. Worf seems to have a thing for half-breed Klingons. What was the name of the half-breed Klingon woman he fell for on a prison planet in the Karaya sector? Was it A, Mattel, B, Bael, C, Girel, or D, Ellery? Oh, how do you say that? Ellery. I do remember this episode too. So Donnie says Keller. Buck says Burrell, B. Donnie says K-Tel. Let's see here. So Donnie says calorie or something like that. Buck says, or was it Burrell? Super intelligent shade of blue. Donnie says the last one, the one I had problems pronouncing. Donnie says Klingon is hard. Yeah, I graduated with like a C- in Klingon. So yeah. And if you believe that, I have a bridge to sell you. If you believe that, I have a slightly used bird of prey to sell you. Jody says, be L'Oreal because you're worth it. And then Buck says, I do have nice hair. And believe it or not, Alec is asking if he can go home yet and get some water.
Where's my shocked face?
I know, right? So I did look at before I looked at the answer, I guessed as well, and I was correct. It is B. Baal. So yeah, it was Buck was right. Burrell. Yeah. Sorry, Alec. Jody says no. And Buck says, you must stay at work, Alec, for the next 28 and a half weeks. Donnie's asking me if the warp core fluid has been changed regularly. I might be interested. Yeah, to tell you, the maintenance hasn't been that good. I did have Scotty give it a once over, but yeah. After that trip around the sun, I am not. And then it might be a little bit of water damage, just to let you know. But I mean, hey, I'm sure you can live with that. And Howard's here. He says, "Is this the crazy train?" No, too soon.
Hey, Howard. How we doing? Good to see you. Thanks for coming in and joining.
Yes, thank you very much.
All right. What did I do with my tweezers?
And Howard, you're missing out on the Klingon trivia we're doing tonight. And then we're getting some Aussie stuff in here. All right. I will go on to the next question because we got roughly 20 minutes left. This is back to the Next Generation episodes again. And I remember this episode. So this Klingon commanded the sleeper ship, the IKS Taong, whose crew awakened in 2365. Was the name of the commander A. Katemok, B. Kavada, C. Katamang, or D. Torel? That's when they had to pretend that Worf was the captain. Buck says D. And D is Torel. So A. Katimok, B. Kavada, C. Katamang, or D. Corel. Sorry, Torel, not Corel. Donnie says Timok. Jody doesn't remember that episode because I remember when they woke up the Klingons, they fired at the Enterprise D, and the Worf comes on and basically acting like he's the captain of this Federation ship, and he's giving them, cock off for that. Not that the ship was really much of a threat to the Enterprise D, but it's not like you want to start a fight with some Klingons who've been sleeping for, centuries. Or a century or so. Buck says he looked at some video from the concert, and he said he didn't look well there. Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Buck says I might get it right. I might be psycho. I answered before the question, Eric, but I don't know if Keith's granddaughter is still watching.
Probably not. Her dad probably had to take her back to her mom's.
There we go. But still, we had a 4-year-old watching, so I didn't want to. So I'm kind of watching my language right now.
Yeah, Tuesdays is his visitation night during the week.
Well, there we have it. Yeah, that's the only reason why, Eric. Yeah, like Keith said, yeah, she's probably not watching anymore, but yeah. Better safe than sorry.
No worries, Eric.
Exactly.
I swear like a sailor, so it's not like she hasn't heard it.
Well, I don't want to be,
but I try not to.
Yeah, I don't want to be one of those people contributing. So the answer is it was A. Katemok from the TNG episode The Emissary. Don't confuse the DS9 premiere Emissary or the emissary himself, a man called Starfleet captain called Sisko. The other choice are Klingons from the Star Trek universe. So just some random names, but yes, it was Kim Talk. Kim Talk. Let's see here. Yeah, Donnie said no, he didn't. Talking about Ozzy, he looks really bad. Still crazy. He died so soon after the farewell concert. At least he managed to get that done, though.
Yes.
And Jody said he was also fairly old compared to Michael J. Yeah. Yes. As far as we know, Howard, yeah, Michael J. Fox has been dealing with it a lot longer than Ozzy. Because Michael J. Fox did come out and announce it years ago. Maybe Ozzy was maybe had minor symptoms, or and didn't come out with it, or maybe he wasn't diagnosed. We were not sure. I mean, I don't think he was. Because if you used to watch the Osbournes, so I didn't watch much of it, but I'd seen some episodes.
Well, I know he Jack, his son, does paranormal stuff. And he had a couple shows, and they had one called The Osbournes Want to Believe, where it was his mom and dad, and they would watch clips of UFO, what are supposedly UFO sightings, ghosts, and stuff, and they would rate them.
Okay.
And I know at times you would see his Ozzy had a cane with him.
Yeah. So I suppose even in the show, though, they can edit it and, clever filming, and they can hide stuff.
Well, most of the time you never saw him standing. He was sitting in a comfy chair.
Yeah.
During that show.
Donnie says, I loved the Osbournes. Plus, he had a hard life of drugs and alcohol. So.
Very. He was heavy into that in the 70s.
Yeah. Well, and beyond. All right. We'll get on to, we're actually doing pretty good on questions for time. Question 19. So we're going back to the movies again with a little bit of Kirk and Spock. Here we have this Arctic Klingon-held planetoid doubled as a mining colony and a prison. Was it A, Tigork, B, Krylos, C, Praxis, or D, Ruapentha? Geez, Jody, I come back and Jody's already got Ruapentha in there. Buck's got Ruapentha. Buckman says the alien graveyard. Steven says D. Eric says D. Donnie says Ruapentha. Yep, Buck said Praxis was the Klingon moon that blew up. That goes back to one of our very first questions in this trivia here. Even Dash said Ruapentha. And Steven's agreeing with Buck, saying yes, it was Buck. So, Donnie says, I'm retiring. You guys type too fast. So, yes, that answer was Ruapentha. So, Star Trek 6, The Undiscovered Country, where Kirk and an alien in the knee, he kicked an alien in the knee. At least that's what he originally thought. And Buck said, don't forget the magical patch that the sensors can pick up from light years away. Yeah. It's made of plutonium. Not plutonium, but plutonium. Yeah, I saw that. How you were talking about like just watching all the Star Trek movies. I wonder if I'll get through to Star Trek 5. And Donnie says, and he slept with a shape changer too. To which Buck says, don't remind me. Which is, yeah, what Kirk said, don't remind me. Yep, Buck says, direct quote from Kirk. All right, so we're coming up on about 9 minutes left, so we'll go with question 20, the final question. It says, okay, time for a toughie. What was the name given to Kern after his memory was wiped by his brother Worf? Was it A. Lore, B. Torel, C. Kurge, or D. Rodek? And Donnie says, hey, she was hot until she wasn't. And Jody says, Candyman. Okay, so Eric says it was Jeff. Donnie says Rodek. Howard said C, which is Kurge. Well, we got that piece together fairly well.
Yep.
Looking good.
So with that, I'm going to call it a night, and that way I give you guys a chance to get out of here, jump over to Buck,
Okay.
as he will be streaming next. So
I'll just quickly go through here. So Steven said Rodek. Howard said Jeff Fafa. Dunham. So yes, the answer is Rodek.
Yep.
So that was our 20 questions. And that was episode 2 of the Kronos live stream. And you're making some great progress, Keith.
It's slow, but hopefully steady.
And that's the thing. Like I said, it's not a race; it's a marathon. And I mean, you're more concerned with doing a great job, which you are doing, because you want to enter this into a contest. So
yes, so that's be the first contest I've entered anything into for models. But I want to thank everyone that showed up tonight. Thank you for stopping by. We ended up, we got 14 viewers.
Well, that's really good.
Yes, and I want to send great appreciation and thanks to Ken for taking time out of his day to produce for me. He keeps me talking at times when I would tend to get quiet. His questions are great. Again, thank you to everyone that showed up. I appreciate it. I know I said every 2 weeks, but the more I thought about it, I think I'm going to go every week, because the recap would be forever for getting things done on Fridays and Sundays, because it would end up being almost 16 hours worth of work to cover. So I think I'm going to end up going every Tuesday, as long as I can. If not, we'll get Buck can start earlier if he wants, or he can stay at 9 o'clock if I can't make it. But again, thank you. Buck is streaming on Buckman's Model Mania. He's doing his U.S. Marshals jail wagon, starting here in about 5 minutes. Tomorrow night is Woody Wednesday, where we'll have some of a group build. Everything being built is wood.
Hello, Todd.
Thursday night. Hey, Todd. Thank you for joining. Sorry. Glad you could make it, though. Let's see. Where was I? Thursday night, we will have Jordan at 8 o'clock Eastern. I know he finished his Lego build of his,
Razor Crest.
His Razor Crest. Yes, he built that. So not sure what he's going to jump into on Thursday. Friday night is at 9 p.m. Eastern. We're going to have our HTM 300th live stream group build. So Todd was talking about doing something special. Don't know. Probably be a surprise to us. So we will see that. Then Saturday, Andrew, Canadian Starships, will be streaming at his normal time. He won't be doing a double stream like he did the last 2 weekends. His wife and kids are back home from their vacation, so his time will be back to normal. And then Sunday, we will have our Sunday Fun Day starting at 4 p.m. Eastern. Again, and then Monday, we will be back to Donnie's modeling desk, where he does mini painting. He's a lot of fun to watch. He does incredible work with miniature painting. With that being said, again, hope to see everyone. Everyone be safe. Take care of yourselves. Make sure you tell your loved ones you love them, because you never know. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. So make sure you let your loved ones know. Again, thank you, everyone, and I will see you next week. Bye.